Okay, welcome back to Gut Check Time. I'm your host. This is going to be the last video of the NFL season other than my review. Still got to get the college review out. That's taking a lot more time than I thought it would, especially with how busy I've been. But before I start, can you please hit that like button? Please subscribe down below. It really helps out the channel. Thank you. Number 2, Kansas City in the AFC side, meeting up against the number 1 seed in the NFC side, the San Francisco 49ers, who are 15-3 on the season. That includes their postseason as well. For the Chiefs, they are 14-4. And let's talk about a little bit of history here. This is the Chiefs' first Super Bowl appearance since 1970, the fourth Super Bowl ever. This is, I believe, the 54th Super Bowl ever, so 50 years. It's been a long time coming for this team. I really don't care who wins this game. I think it's going to be a good game. This is the Chiefs' third appearance, though. Super Bowl 1, first appearance, lost to the Packers. Super Bowl 4, won versus the Vikings. So it's been a while, like I said, 50 years since they've been here. 49ers, nothing new here. 5 Super Bowl appearances, 5 wins. Their first came in 1981, their last coming in 1994, the 1994 season. Really, 1995 was the game where they destroyed the San Diego Chargers. And Steve Young, I believe, threw 6 touchdown passes in that game, which I think is still a Super Bowl record. To get here, Kansas City, they beat the Texans 51-31 at home. They beat the Titans 35-24 at home. Patrick Mahomes, regular season numbers, 26 touchdowns, 10 interceptions in only 14 games. He was injured versus my Broncos, where he dislocated his knee, missed a couple games. And he's just got a ton of weapons around him. He's got Tyreek Hill, the speedster, on the outside. Travis Kelce, one of the 2 best tight ends in football. Greg Kittle on the 49ers also has a claim to that number 1 spot, but I believe it's either him or Travis Kelce for that number spot. So number 1 or 2, whatever order you want to put him in, I won't argue. Sammy Watkins, another really good wide receiver. Heard talk already. They're thinking about releasing him. He's really good, but he's injury prone, and he's making a lot of money, and they don't really need him. Mecole Hardman, his replacement most likely next year, another speedster, a guy from Georgia, rookie this year. And they rank number 1 in third down offense, but they're only 20 in red zone offense. And what that means is how many times you get in the red zone, how many times you score a touchdown. They rank 20th in that stat. So they actually get bogged down in the red zone, which kind of makes sense because they have a lot of speedsters. And when you get those guys in a more of a box situation, you can kind of close them in, play a much tighter zone or a lot of press man. Whereas in the open field, you can't really do that because they're going to blow right by you. They rank 5th in points per game with 28.2 points per game scored. And on defense, they're a lot better than people will give them credit for. They're 19.3 points per game allowed, which is 7th in football, so pretty good. Their strength of schedule on the season is the 11th hardest strength of schedule, so an average schedule pretty much. This team relies heavily on Patrick Mahomes. They only rush the ball 23 times a game, and they only rush it for 99 yards per game, which ranked 22nd during the regular season. So in the bottom half of the league, pretty much, there's only 32 teams. They're kind of complete opposites of the 49ers, who like to run the ball a lot. Patrick Mahomes, though, this postseason has been fantastic. 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in 2 games thus far. Probably one of the best runs I've seen so far. Joe Flacco had a run like this back when they won the Super Bowl in 2012. I believe he had 11 touchdowns, 1 interception or something like that. It may have been 0 interceptions. He had a ridiculous run. And Patrick Mahomes is also on one of those runs. So we'll see if he can cap that off with another great performance and a Super Bowl win and possibly a Super Bowl MVP. Now let's get to the defense. Frank Clark, the best defensive lineman. Big pickup in the offseason, a trade from Seattle. And then Tyrann Mathieu in the back end. Plays safety, plays corner, sometimes plays linebacker and nickel coverage. He's a do-it-all player, very productive player. This is the type of guy this is what I envisioned for him coming out of LSU before he got in trouble a little bit, then turned his life around, hasn't gotten in trouble since. He's always had the talent, and now you're starting to see it. And those 2 guys, plus Steve Spagnuolo, the new defensive coordinator, have been 3 big additions for this Kansas City defense, which was the worst team in points per game allowed last year. They let up 32, almost 33 points per game, and that ranked 32nd in the National Football League. This year, 19.3. So they cut that down by 13 points per game. That's crazy. That's 2 touchdowns per game. Pretty much, you're giving up less. And now they're 11th in sacks with 45. Third down percentage on defense is 12th, and their turnover rate is 11th with 23 turnovers on the season. And then red zone percentage, touchdowns allowed. That means when the team gets in the red zone, how many times do they score on you out of how many trips they get? They're 9th in that. So you can move the ball on this team, but they don't give up a lot of points. They get a lot of sacks, and they play good defense in the red zone. We call that timely defense. You may not be great, but when it comes down to third down or when you need to make a play, you make a play, and this team does that. So it's timely defense. And like I said, a big part of that's Frank Clark. He's number 1 in sacks in the playoffs with 4. And this Kansas City team, I thought they're the best team in the AFC coming into the season. In my preview, I had the Chiefs versus the Falcons in the Super Bowl. So that's a little look back on my preview and a little prediction or a little jump forward to my review in season video. Obviously, good pick on the AFC side with the Chiefs, bad pick on the NFC side with the Falcons. Let's get to the NFC side, by the way. NFC side probably been the best team in football since week 1. They surprised me. I had them going 7-9. Another preview for my review, and I was wrong. They're obviously not 7-9. They're 15-3. They went 13-3 in the regular season. To get here, they beat Minnesota 27-10, and then they mollywopped the Green Bay Packers 37-20. 49ers actually have a better offense if you're just looking at stats. 29.9 points per game, second in points per game, and then they're 19.4 points per game in points allowed. So Chiefs were 7th, 49ers were 8th. Everyone looks at the 49ers as a better defense. Well, the stats say otherwise. Everyone looks at the Chiefs as a better offense. Stats say otherwise. Strength of schedule, guess what? 10th. Guess what the Chiefs were? 11th. So pretty similar. These teams are very similar all around the board. This is going to be a very competitive, very good game. Weapons. Deebo Samuel, rookie, played fantastic. That guy's tough nose. Once he gets the football in his hands, it's really hard to get him down with only one guy. And also, Emmanuel Sanders came over in a trade for my Denver Broncos. Time to get rid of him. He's playing pretty well for them. And then again, one of the 2 best tight ends in the league in George Kittle. Then you have a stable of backs back there with Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida. They have 3 guys over 500 yards rushing. The Chiefs have no guys over 500 yard rushing. In fact, their leading rusher has 498 yards in Damian Williams. Their 3rd leading rusher is Patrick Mahomes with, I believe, around 250 yards, which is just crazy if your quarterback's your 3rd leading rusher. Matt Breida, number 1 on the team with 712 yards. Raheem Mostert, number 2 on the team with 623 yards. And then Tevin Coleman, number 3 on the team with 544 yards. Like I said, all 3 guys capable of running, obviously with the stats I just presented you. They're all above 500, below 800. You have 3 guys like that. The Chiefs have no guys above 500. And, I mean, they have 498 for Damian Williams, 465 for LaShawn McCoy, who probably won't even be active for this game, and 141 for Darrell Williams. So obviously these teams like to get it done a lot differently. In the regular season, the 49ers were the 2nd best rushing team in the league behind the Baltimore Ravens, who broke the all-time rushing record for a season in the NFL, which is crazy to think about this day and age. They were 2nd in the league with 31.1 attempts, and also 2nd in the league in rushing yards per game. And they've even upped that. In the postseason, they're averaging 235.5 yards per game, which I believe is like 70 to 80 yards more than the regular season average, which is just crazy. They've just leaned into more what they're good at, which makes sense. When you're getting the playoffs, you don't need to disguise stuff anymore, or you do need to disguise it still, but you don't need to hide it. Some people hide plays for later in the season because, those are the more important games. No need to do that anymore. So guess what? They're going to design different running plays, and they're going to pound it down your throat, and that's exactly what Kyle Shanahan's decided to do. Defensive-wise, also, sacks, 5th in football with 48 sacks per game, 2nd in third down percentage, 6th in turnovers with 27, and then red zone percentage, touchdowns allowed, is 22nd. So actually, this is the type of team where if you get a drive going and you can get in the red zone, you can score on them. The problem is, hard to get a drive going because they're 5th in sacks, they turn the ball over, and they get off the field in 3rd down. So the key to me for this game, for the Chiefs, avoid 3rd down and hit big plays. Guess what they're really good at doing? Guess what the Chiefs are really good at? They're number 1 in 3rd down offense, so that they do get to 3rd down. This is going to be a great game. 2nd on defense for the 49ers in 3rd down percentage allowed. 1st for the offense for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think you're going to look back and see whoever wins that has a pretty damn good shot at winning this football game. I'll give you an idea who I think will win that coming up, but let's keep breaking this down. Also, the Chiefs are really good at hitting big plays. I believe they have the most plays over 25 yards in the league this year. I'm not sure about that, but I think I heard that this week with all the previews I've watched of this game. And I just think they have the type of offense to expose this 49ers defense. This 49ers defense, though, like I said, is insane on third down. So if I'm the Chiefs, I know you're good at it, but I'd like to avoid that. Try to hit your big plays on first and second down. Try to avoid third down, even though you are good at it and you probably will convert some. But if you're anything over 3rd and 5, I'd give the edge to the 49ers there just because of their front four with DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, Joey Bosa, or Nick Bosa, sorry, and Dee Ford. So keys to the game for me, 49ers continue to run the football, continue to run that zone read scheme, but Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have to throw for over 200 yards for them to win this game. If he throws for over 200 yards and they rush for over 150 yards, they win this game. Chiefs, for you to win this game, be 45% or better on third down conversions and avoid more than having 10 third downs in this game. You can't have more than 10, in my opinion. Also, have 3 plays of 20 yards or 4 plays of 20 yards or more in this game. You win this game. Those are my keys to the game. I think the 49ers will achieve my keys to the game more than the Chiefs will. So I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game. I think it's a close game. I think it's a really good game. I think we're going to get a lot of back and forth because I think these were and have been the 2 best teams in football since the beginning of the season. The Chiefs, I believe that in the offseason. The 49ers, once I saw them the first 2 weeks, it's like, that's the best team in the NFC. So I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game 30-26. I'm taking the over 54.5 points, and I'm taking San Francisco +1 here. I believe Kansas City misses out, but don't worry. You will be back. You will win a Super Bowl, if not multiple, with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid at the helm. I just believe this 49ers team, as I've laid out, is a complete football team. They do everything well, and they do some things great. Whereas the Chiefs do a lot of things well. There are some things they can still improve on the defensive side of the football and get better on that side. And I believe the 49ers will be able to get the Chief offense to get in 3rd and long situations and be able to stop them. So like I said, now this game, like I said, can go either way. And if those keys happen where the Chiefs do convert 45% or better on third down and they avoid getting 10 or more third down attempts in this game, I think they win this game. I also think they have to be able to run the ball to win this game a little bit. You have to keep them honest. If Patrick Mahomes throws over 40 times this game, they're losing this game. I don't see them winning this game with Patrick Mahomes throwing 40 plus times. That'll do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed my videos over the season. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Really helps out the channel.